Greetings, gamer guys and gals. This is One Less One, and I'm bringing you a Grim Dawn video today. I am loving the crap out of this game. I've been playing it for about 5 days, streaming about 4 of those. And I want to share you guys my experience with the game so far, things I've learned, some tips I can give you guys if you want to check this game out, and just overall how my character has been progressing so far. So, Grim Dawn, what is it? It's an ARPG similar to Diablo 3, Path of Exile, Torchlight 2, anything like that. So if you're familiar with those titles, you will have a good idea of what this game is going to be like. This is my character so far. He's level 41 Warder. I'll explain that here in just a second. Let's go over really quick what this game offers you. So you get offered classes in the game. I chose to choose Soldier and Shaman. My first playthrough of the game, I played Shaman. Didn't really have a whole lot of success with him. I kept dying over and over and over and over. So I chose Soldier. Originally, I was going to do something else, but then I saw this skill right here, Force Wave. So this thing's really cool. It has a cooldown, does a lot of damage, stuns them, yada yada yada. But I chose to augment it so it's spammable. So normally it's not a spammable skill, but you can augment it through this talent right here in your tree that reduces the cooldown of it by 100%. Reduce the overall damage of it, but you can spam it. It doesn't have a cooldown anymore. And that's pretty much what my whole character is built around Shockwave, or Force Wave, excuse me. Some supporting skills for it. It increases the physical damage of it, reduces target's armor by 235, which and then increases the damage of it, even more so. But really the main meat and potatoes of this build is this internal trauma passive right here. So this internal trauma damage and bleeding damage gets scaled significantly, and basically my whole build is built around dealing one big large upfront hit and letting my dots basically finish everything off, and it's doing great at that. Originally I wasn't going to play this, but I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. So I didn't plan this character at all. Didn't look at any talent trees, any builds, any like tier list, anything like that. I just kind of went off my own gut instinct, and I'm really loving it. It's been super successful. So why is this so good? So bleeding damage is great, so you can hit him, let him just bleed to death, and come back and get the loot. You can hit him and run, hit him and run, hit him and run. So you're never really locked in melee combat. You're like a pseudo mid-range caster with tons of armor, lots of health regeneration, and really good upfront damage. My supporting class is Shaman. The reason I chose it is the Devouring Swarm right here. This thing's pretty sweet. You cast it, it sends out a little swarm, as you can tell. It's kind of hard to see, but shooting them out there, right? It hits them, it reduces their bleeding resistance, which scales my damage of my bleeding on my shockwave, but it also reduces their vitality resistance by a great deal. I'm hoping to convert some of my damage to vitality damage later on in the game, because as I reduce the resistances, it raises my overall damage, probably more than I could by just scaling my damage up front. Let's go into the devotion tree. It's kind of like your secondary or third tertiary talent tree. So you get these shrines as you're playing the game. You do like a little mini boss fight thing there, and you get these devotion points, and as you put them in here, you get certain abilities. So let's just go over this really quick. Tortoise, you get health, defensive ability, some more defensive ability, requirement shields, minus requirements for shields. I don't use shields. I'm a two-hander, so that doesn't really do me any good. Gives me some health, 4% health, 4% armor. This is kind of where this is why I chose this. So in this game, as you complete each one of these little constellations, you get like either increased stats or like a special augment that you can put on skills. This one's really sweet for hardcore especially. So as you can see, 100% chance to trigger at 40% health. So when I reach 40% of my overall total health, I get a shield around me that absorbs 1340 damage so far. And I don't know if your damage reduction factors into that, or if it's just raw damage that the monsters would do to you before mitigation. I really can't tell you that, but by the looks of it, your mitigation does affect it. So if you can reduce as much damage as possible from the initial hit, that shield is going to last much, much longer. So that's my character tree. That's my my overall goal for this character is just a bleed tank, basically. Let's go over my gear really quick. In this game, you have 10 resistances, and all of them are equally as important. The first 4, fire, ice, lightning, and acid, are pretty easy to get up early on in the game. So I would suggest trying to get those up. But as you get in further in the game, bleeding damage, vitality damage, ethereal damage, and chaos damage can eventually kill you. So you do want to get those up. The biggest thing I want to stress on this video for newer players and even veteran players, if you don't really, you know, look twice at this, but this the armor rating. So what does this mean? So if you notice here, you have 6 places anyone can hit you. So anytime a monster goes to hit you, it randomly rolls based on the percentages of the chance right there to then get hit. So let's say you get a chest hit. It looks at your armor rating and your armor absorption. So what does that mean? If someone hits you for 200 and you have 100 armor, and your armor absorption is, say, 100, which I'm soon going to be at, what it will do is it will check your armor absorption, check your armor rating, and then reduce that hit by the amount of armor rating on the slot that you got hit. So if I had 100 armor and I got hit for 200, and I have 100% armor absorption, I would reduce the overall hit by a flat 100. And as you go down in armor absorption, the more damage you will take. So if you start out at 70%, which you do for all characters, and you get hit for 200, you will then only reduce it by 70. Now I know 30 damage might not sound like a lot, but as you scale armor in this game, it takes a significant amount of damage off each attack. That's why I can survive so much in this character, is because I have high armor on each one of my pieces. I've sacrificed probably stats that I could otherwise get, literally just to get high armor, because it does that much, especially for physical-based characters. I'm not going to go over too much on the components. That's something that I had to figure out. There's a huge list online if you want to go look about what each one does, the best ones, but I've kind of just thrown together whatever. I have some decent gear, some epic and some rares. I had just recently found this axe, and this thing is fantastic. So this thing increases my bleeding damage overall, so any kind of bleeding damage I do gets increased by 1.33%, which includes the talent that I showed you guys earlier. This one right here. I can show you guys just really quick. So 1,458% or damage, and then when I take that off, it goes down to 1,056. So this increased my bleed damage on this by over 400. And any other bonuses to bleeding damage will then just increase it further. So why I think it's so good, why this character I think has been so successful, is because I figured out what it takes to survive in this game, and just an interesting combination of this bob and weave tile technique. If I have a monster, I'll hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. So I'm like a mid-range melee caster, sort of. So I'm never really locked into combat, and in this game, like, you can just get completely smashed by physical damage. So being able to hit and run, and never really be stationary just increases your overall survivability significantly. So let's go see if I can't find a group of monsters to show you guys really quick. If I can find a rare to show you guys just how powerful these bleeds can be, that would be awesome. But let's just give you guys a quick example. So I cast my Devouring Storm, smash him away, smash him away. The guy died before I even hit him. It's just how good the bleeds are with this kind of setup. So got a decent pack of monsters. So I just come in here, and so you see how much damage my bleed dots, or my dots, were doing on that guy. I can just hit one thing and not even have to worry about it. I literally can just hit him, run, hit him, run, hit him, and run. And this comes in handy when you're fighting bosses that are really, really dangerous. There's been lots of times in this guy's lifetime where I'm fighting bosses and I run out of healing potions, but just the simple fact I can just keep running and actually still hurt them and deal a significant portion of my overall damage just through my dots allows me to fight much harder things than I normally would be able to. There was a couple times where I was fighting things like 10 levels above me, and I was able to just basically do circles around them and not have to worry about really getting hurt too bad. So as you can tell, I just completely murder these guys. These guys are not, hard at all. I'll give you guys just a really quick example of why armor is super, super important in this game. Let's see if I can't get it. So here's a decent pack of guys. So I've got pretty decent life regeneration from this guy. And as you can tell, they're not really doing all that much to me. And even when I do, I get life regeneration and have a chance to leech. So as you can tell, so I'm getting hurt, I'm getting hurt. Let's see if I can actually get it down. So my shell is gonna pop. So you see the shell around me right here. It's absorbing damage. So this thing's awesome. So if I'm like in the middle of a really risky fight and I just get hit super hard, it basically prevents me from getting one shot, which can happen in these action RPGs. You know, just stars line, you get hit, boom, your character instantly dies. And basically what that does is it reduces the chance at all. I can't get one shot because as soon as my health hits 40, that will pop, and then the rest of the damage from that hit will then be absorbed by the shell. But that's going to be it for the video today, guys. Thank you for watching this. I hope this has been helpful at all. I know there's a lot more to this game than I led on to. I'm sure you guys can find out more, but this has been just a blind playthrough. I've been just trying to figure out as I'm going, hopefully, you know, getting some sort of sense of the game. And if this has been helpful at all, I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be making an update video on this guy if he doesn't die, hopefully sometime in the near future. I'm not expecting to die. This character has just been an absolute blast, and I'm really enjoying this game, and I can't wait to keep playing it. So that's going to be it today, guys. Thank you again for watching this video. I'm OneLess1, and I'll see you next time.